welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do my wrap up for June and July, because my July footage, somewhere in my depressed brain, I deleted it. The book's already on the cart because I just literally sat here for an hour talking to the camera and none of it recorded. I took a picture of myself at the very beginning and that was it. So I'm gonna go through them backwards with you and give you my ratings and a few of my thoughts. So the first one to start with is the last one I read in July, and that is The Cool Prince by Holly Black. This is all about Jude, and I don't know if it gave you, I was trying to see if it gave you the other main character's name. It doesn't. So Jude, at the age of 7, her mother, there's a knock on the door, she opens the door, and there's this weird guy standing there. He asks for her mother, she yells for her mom, and her mom's like, Jude, go upstairs. Take sisters and go upstairs. And the guy starts talking about how, he didn't believe it, but now here she is. Basically, shortness is, Jude has a twin sister and an older sister, Viv. Vivian, the man at the door is Vivi's father, who is a fairy. And her mother ran from fairy at least 7 years ago, pregnant, to the mortal world with a mortal man. It has been hiding ever since, living as a human. And so what happens is he kills the parents and takes Jude to fairy. Fairy, now where our story picks up, is Jude has been in fairy for 10 years. And basically what happens from there. This was a 5-star read. I actually truly enjoyed this, and I cannot wait for the next one. The next one I read was Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. Y'all know what this is. Edward and Bella. It was a 5-star read. It was a nostalgia read for sure. My wife was like, you're being a 15-year-old child right now, because I stayed up all night finishing it and loved it, and it was just nostalgia. It hit me right in my feels. When I first read this, was at a pivotal point in my life, and so reading it just took me back, and I fell back into forks and fell back into love and everything. So I did give it 5 stars, and you can give me constructive criticism in the comments. Say what you want. I still love it, and I know that's not the best thing ever for a 25-year-old to love Twilight, but I do. So the next one I finished was Night Film by Marissa Pessel. This was a 2-star read. I'm not gonna say much, but the ending sent me into a sent me into a rage. And so if you have read this, please comment below or send me a message on Instagram. All that is linked in my description. I need to talk about this because it made me livid at this point. I was so angry at the end of this. And yeah, I might keep it on my shelves just as a hate read at this point. You want to see about the book I think is the worst book ever? This one. Actually, I don't think it's the worst book ever. It's that or 9 Perfect Strangers. That one had more of a purpose. So 9 Perfect Strangers may be the worst book I've ever read. The next ones I read were the first and second in the Wicked Lovely series. This is a backlisted series that I had not read, and I happened to pick up all 4 of them, or the first 4 of them, for real cheap, and so I thought, why not, I would read them. And honestly, it's a really good series about fairies. I've been on a fairy kick. Who knows why. This one's about, I just had her name. What was her name? Aslan. And Aslan can see fairies, and it's all about what happens when she starts getting courted by a fairy. This one's about a friend of Aslan's who has a run-in with another monarch, or has a run-in with a monarch of the fairy court. They have very different endings. I thought they were going to have the same ending, but they didn't. I did give both of them 5 stars. Next, I read Inescapable by Amy A. Bartrell. This is a self-pub that I absolutely adored. It's all about Morgan and what happens when Morgan goes to college at Claremont. And it just kind of falls apart from there. I will say that it's just so good. If you like Fallen, if you like Hush Hush, or you like the Mortal Instruments, you'll love this. A lot of the tropes that are sort of in Mortal Instruments are in this one. That's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to give too much away because it will be a spoiler. But I gave these 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. The next one I read was The Darkland by D.M. Shepard. This one was sent to me for review. She actually sent me a copy for you guys. So there will be a giveaway at the end of the video. I will explain that all here in a minute. This one is a Alaskan horror novella. Rose goes out to the Alaskan backcountry because her foster mother asked her to, because her son died back some years ago out in the Alaskan backcountry, and she wants to know what happened to him. She wants to bury his body, and so her dying wish was for Rose to go out there and try to figure out what happened to him. And it just kind of falls apart from there. It does have a steamy romance in it. If you don't like reading about child abuse, child sexual abuse, or child neglect, this wouldn't be one for you. It does have balance as well. If you're okay with those themes and you can handle it, definitely recommend it. I'm giving it 4 stars, and because of this, I want to pick up more horror. But I will say that does have those trigger warnings in it, and I will discuss more about this giveaway here in a minute. Next, I finished Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare. I'm not going to go into too much detail because it is the sequel to Lady Midnight, and I loved it. I love the Blackthorn family, and I cannot wait to read Queen of Air and Darkness at this point. So this was a 5-star read. The next one I read was Stephen King's The Outsider. This one also has child rape in it, actually. This is about what happens when a young boy dies, and supposedly the Little League coach in town did it. It's a Stephen King, so obviously it takes a paranormal twist. I found the paranormal twist really quite interesting, but I wish it had happened a little quicker. I did enjoy all the detective work in it, so I will be picking up another one. I gave this 4 stars. It's not my favorite book ever, and it didn't make my favorites list, but it was pretty good. I don't regret reading it or anything like that. Both the Stephen Kings I've read, I've rated. I gave Salem's Lot a 3 and this one a 4. I think I'm going to try to pick up some of his more popular titles and see what I think. The next one I think I'm going to pick up is Pet Sematary, because that one everyone seems to love. And I want to see what I think of that one, because right now some of his lesser known titles just aren't doing it for me. The next to last one I read, or the last one I finished, was Deathless Divide by Justina Ireland. I ended up giving this 4 stars. I loved it. I loved it so much, but I like Dread Nation better. The reason I'm giving this 4 stars is because there is a section where our characters aren't together, and it's kind of just rushed, and I did not like that. It was slow but rushed. That's weird to say, but I wish it had more backstory is what I mean by that, because I wish it had more backstory about what happened while they were apart, because that would have been really, really cool to read. The way it ended, it does leave for Justina to write a 3rd one, and I'm hoping she does, because I will read anything at this point that she writes. I will read anything with Jane in it at this point, and I would just absolutely love it. And the last book I have to talk to you about in this wrap-up is actually The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. This one, guys, I will finish tonight. I have less than 40 pages left. I am loving it. Right now it's a 5-star read, unless something happens at the end that take it down. But for right now, it is a 5-star read. I am loving it, and I can't wait to see how this ends, because I know there's a second one, and yeah, I'm excited to see how it ends. I will give you more of my thoughts in my August wrapped up about this one, since I'm not quite done with it, but I wanted to include it in here. So yeah, those are all the books I finished in June and July. If you like this video and you like me, subscribe, like. I would love to have you here. Leave me a comment. Tell me, what book did you read this month that you absolutely loved or absolutely hated? Let's have a discussion, and I hope I see y'all later. Bye, guys.